Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. It's the last day of March and our last show of the week with Huskers baseball on the airwaves tomorrow night. With that said, we have a jam-packed show for you coming your way tonight, so we'll get right to it. Earlier today, Huskers men's track athlete Ryan Martins was the top collegiate athlete in the 10,000 meters at the Mike Finelli Track Classic on Thursday in San Francisco. With a time of 29:44.24, he finished third overall in the 55-man field behind two professional distance runners. Martin's time was his personal best and places as the sixth best in Huskers history. His teammate Mark Freyhoff also recorded a personal best of 10,000 meters at a time of 30:09.72, which is ninth best in school history and ninth overall in the race, fifth best amongst collegiate athletes in the same event. Elsewhere in college sports, over to basketball, where the men's and women's NIT tournaments are in action tonight. The men are in their NIT championship, and Xavier and Texas A&M are just underway. And then on the women's side, it's the semifinals tonight for the rights to go to the WNIT championship. At 6:30, it'll be Seton Hall playing Middle Tennessee. And at 7 p.m., it'll be UCLA taking on South Dakota State. Also in Big Ten men's basketball news, two conference foes have declared for the 2022 NBA draft. That would be Wisconsin's Johnny Davis and Purdue's Jaden Ivey. Now, both players are projected first-round picks this June. In pro sports, one notable signing in the NFL today is longtime All-Pro and Pro Bowl linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks, Bobby Wagner, has agreed to a 5-year, $50 million contract with the LA Rams. He lives in LA. That contract has incentives, making it worth up to $65 million. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The 0-2 from Stracco, and Bredwell swings and lifts it to left and deep, and it's good! A two-run home run for Ava Bredwell.
The 0-1. Ripped right at the shortstop. Matthews back to second, and it is a double play. They pick off Flores, who had gotten too far off the bag.
Andrews swings and hammers this one deep right field and gone! A rocket halfway up the bleachers in right field for a home run.
The 3-2 pitch. That's ripped into center field. That's a base hit. It's a gapper in the left center field. Chick scores. Anderson around third, being waved home. The relay throw to the plate. Not in time, and the Huskers have taken a 2-1 lead.
Ibarra swings and hits this one high in the air. Deep right field, and it's gone! Ibarra and Andrews go back to back.
Hit on the ground to second, might be two. Second base one on a short. Matthews relay throw to first in time, and C.J. Hood, the freshman, gets a double play ball and gets the Huskers out a little bit of danger here in the top of the sixth inning.
And Gray swings and blasts it deep right field. It's gone! It's gone! Sidney Gray with a 3-run home run.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, good Thursday evening to you, everybody. Welcome into Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Final show of the week as we have baseball coming up for you on the road at Ohio State this weekend. We got a jam-packed show. You heard Tim talking about it. We heard from Derek Walker last night on his decision to return back and utilize that extra COVID year of eligibility. Tonight, we're going to hear from Sam Haiby, who announced that she will also return for next basketball season. And in hour number 2, we'll hear from Olivia Farrell. Nebraska softball on a roll going into the weekend as they have their conference opener against Rutgers starting tomorrow. But we mentioned baseball on the road, and that is where we find Greg Sharpe in Ohio. And he had a call this morning. Greg, how you doing? Did you get a nap in?
Whew, man, yeah, it was early. We had an 8 o'clock flight out of Omaha. In fact, it was interesting. We get to the airport, and we flew through St. Louis, and some of our good friends from Open Doors, which is a great Lincoln company, were on our flight. They were on their way to the Final Four in New Orleans to go do some business down there. So I ran into some folks that I know that work for that great company, and they were certainly excited to get to New Orleans and see all the festivities for the Final Four. So that was kind of fun. But, yeah, it was an early start. The Huskers, when they go on the road for baseball, Jessica, they like to get to the place they're playing in time to go have a late afternoon, early evening workout. In fact, they're at They're over at the ballpark right now having a practice session, even though we got a little bit of drizzle here right now. And one other thing that caught me when we landed, we were flying in, and I'm looking out the window, and you probably experienced this weekend when you went back home, how green everything is already here. And they're not that much further south than Lincoln here in Columbus, but all the grass is green here, and kind of makes me jealous because we're still seeing a lot of brown grass around Lincoln.
Well, how is the baseball atmosphere in Ohio up there at Ohio State? Because they're well known for their football atmosphere. Baseball team struggling a little bit, 8-13. But what's that atmosphere like when you hit the road for baseball?
Not very good. It's really disappointing. I mean, this is a really big town. In fact, you surprise people when you tell them that Columbus is the biggest city in the state of Ohio. It's not Cincinnati or Cleveland. It's Columbus. It's a really big town, but they just don't come out and support Buckeye baseball. They've got a beautiful stadium. Nebraska actually played a regional here in 1999, but great facility, but they just don't come out and support it. They don't get much student support. I don't know why, because they've had pretty good teams. They've won the league a few times in the last 10 years. At least they've won some league tournaments, but yeah, they just don't really draw very well. And I don't quite get that because they've got such a huge population base here to draw to, but they just don't usually have a lot of people that show up.
Well, the Huskers coming off a couple disappointing ones against Michigan and then against Creighton. What's the energy like, the psyche of this baseball team right now?
Well, they're really disappointed. I mean, they've had games where, like the other night against Creighton, they pitched it really well. They used some of their young pitchers, and they did a great job hanging in the game. They couldn't come up with a big hit. That's been a concern for this team in recent weeks. And then the nights and the games that they maybe get some offense going, they don't pitch it real well. So they just can't get it on the same page. But you're right, this is a great opportunity this weekend against another team that's trying to find their way through the early parts of this season. So maybe a chance to come get a road series win, and that would certainly boost the spirits of this team. I mean, it's such a young team. I think they're learning. They're learning on the hard way and taking some hard knocks with this thing. But I can assure you, Will Bolt's not going to give up. That's not in his DNA at all. He's going to keep fighting to try to find the right buttons to push with this team. And just for our audience's sake, Jessica, this series, going back the last few years, has had some incredible games. Nebraska had I think it was the 2019 season. They walked off Ohio State. They played them 4 times. They walked them off all 4 games. So the Buckeyes don't really like the Huskers because Nebraska's kind of ripped their heart out a little bit. So hopefully that trend continues starting tomorrow night.
Well, listen, you guys have talked about it a lot. You had Coach Bolt on here, and it's been discussed. Just kind of been hit with some tough blows with the pitching rotation. But what's that look like going into this weekend? Some tweaks to it at all?
Yeah, slight tweak. Chase Shanneman, who's been their most consistent starter, they're going to try to move him up to Friday. He pitched last Saturday, pitched really well in that Michigan game, and so they're going to go 1 day less rest for him, but they feel like he's their best guy right now, so you usually put your best pitcher on Friday night. So he and Cody Frank switched this week. Cody started last Friday. He'll start on Saturday, and then Dawson McCarville keeps that Sunday spot. But I'm really happy for Shea. He's one of the captains of this team, and he's such a mature kid, and he's really been good, and I think he will really relish the spot being given to him to start the series up on Friday night. So looking forward to him getting out there tomorrow against an Ohio State team.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. You know, sometimes pitchers get it in their mind, oh, they're better on Saturday or the Friday person or Sunday, whatever that might be. But does he seem to be like a kind of guy that will relish in that opportunity to be the Friday night guy?
I think he really will. I think, he's one of the more veteran guys on this team, and I think he feels like it's his moment. It's his time to kind of be the guy. And there's a lot of pressure on that Friday game, even though the Huskers have been decent on Fridays. They've won their last 2 Friday games, but then haven't won series by finishing it off. But you definitely want to try to get a lengthy start out of your Friday guys so that you save the rest of your bullpen for the Saturday and Sunday's game. But he's such a mature kid. He got married. I know that's been a story that's been well documented. He got married last fall and just seems to really be content with his life right now and in a good spot. And I'm happy for him to get the ball to start this series tomorrow.
Well, how about Garrett Anglem last weekend? Reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week. What clicked for him last weekend?
He's been great. And, Garrett last year couldn't get on the field because the Huskers had all those veteran outfielders. And so Nebraska just didn't get a chance to really play him at all. So he used the redshirt year last year. Now he's been given an opportunity to be in the lineup, and he is taking full advantage of that. And he's been probably the most consistent bat for this team over the last couple of weeks. And he's played really well defensively out in right field for this team. And so he's another one of those young guys that has kind of grabbed a spot with this team. And I know people are really discouraged, and we certainly saw some of the message boards after the loss to Creighton the other night. I get it. I understand it. People really have high expectations for this program, and it hasn't lived up to that in the first month. But when you see like an Anglem or a Core Jackson or some of these freshmen that are doing some really good things for this team, it certainly gets you excited about where they're headed in the future.
So I was also going to ask you about the leadoff hitter. It's been another big topic of discussion, and I know Nick and Ben talked a lot about it during the Creighton game. You guys have had discussions during broadcasts all throughout the season. Bryce Matthews led off the last few games. Do they feel pretty set in that, or is that still going to be something that could keep rotating and changing up?
No, I think Bryce he's done pretty well in that spot since they moved him in there a couple games ago. And, Bryce had such a great freshman year, got overshadowed by what Max Anderson did, but he was right there with him and a big contributor to that team a year ago, and a lot expected out of Bryce. And I think the first weekend or two, he was putting maybe too much pressure on himself to be the next Spencer Schwellenbach, and you don't need to do that. You just need to be yourself, and he's a good enough athlete and has the ability to use all fields. He'll draw walks, which you also like out of a leadoff batter. So I feel like he's settled in a little bit at the top of that order. So that's another encouraging thing. His defense has been erratic this year. He's made some errors defensively, and he needs to sharpen that up a little bit. But I do think that Will Bolt will continue to run him out there in that leadoff spot for this team moving forward. And I think, he's up to that task. And Nebraska needs him to be good. That was one of the players they were counting on to be a really big contributor for this team going into 2022.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the freshmen kind of getting settled in. Sometimes that can just be such a process of figuring out how to do in any sport, figuring out how this college thing works. But they feel pretty excited, pretty hopeful at how kind of some of these young talent are kind of settling into their roles with this team.
They absolutely do, and I think that's been the thing you've got to right now kind of hang your hat on a little bit, hoping that some of the more veteran players kind of figure it out and kind of get back to what they should be doing. But to me, that's been a bright spot, is what we've seen from time to time from a Core Jackson or Garrett Anglem, who we mentioned earlier. The other night in the Creighton game, they used 3 freshman pitchers in that game, and all 3 of them did a really nice job. And then Creighton runs out their Friday starter and their 2 best relievers, and they win 3-2. But Nebraska certainly had a great chance to win that game. So even though that was a loss the other night, there were some encouraging things that happened. But I really like this young core. People don't want to hear that right now. They want to win right now. I get it. This team wants to do that as well. But if they get some other guys starting to warm up a little bit with the bats, I think they could turn this thing around here as we hit the early part of, God, how about this? April 1st tomorrow. No fooling, Jessica. It's April 1st tomorrow.
I literally was thinking that today. It is the last day of March. We just were talking the beginning of postseason basketball, I feel like. And now here we are, Final Four weekend. It's April. I mean, where has the month gone? Sometimes with baseball teams, you go on the road and you kind of come together because it's backs against the wall, right? It's us against the world mentality type of thing. But this team is also could use some wins for the confidence too. How big can this series be for this team?
Yeah, I think it could be. I think, you mentioned the atmosphere. It'll be sleepy here, so it's not really an intimidating place to come play. If you could come pick off a road series win, I think you could gain a lot of confidence back and certainly jump up the standings, which some of the league teams haven't even played a league game yet. Some teams didn't start last week. They start this week. So if they could come out of here and win a series and come out of here maybe 3-3 in the conference, I think they would feel like, okay, now we can go. Now we can get this thing and kick it into gear. They have Rutgers at home next weekend. There'll be some big crowds at Haymarket Park with the spring game going on that weekend. That usually draws really well. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully the weather kicks back up. I mean, we've been up and down, haven't we, like the stock market with the weather the last couple of weeks. I think today you got some sunshine finally, but hopefully that warms up and the bats warm up as well. One thing, Jessica, I know you're getting tight on time, but something I failed to do last night, and shame on me, I forgot to wish our good friend Brendan Stye happy birthday yesterday. So tiny happy birthday to you, big fella.
Man, we forgot that. We can't miss Brandon Stye. I'm wishing
No.
him a happy birthday. Our bad on that. All right, well, Greg, we appreciate you jumping on with us for this segment. We got lots to get to here in this hour, so we'll let you hop out of here, but appreciate you helping me out here on this segment.
You bet. Have a great show, and we'll look forward to being with everybody tomorrow night.
Yep. All right, Greg. Thanks. Appreciate it. And
You
Greg
bet.
and Ben McLaughlin will be on the call for this one. 5:05, first pitch tomorrow at Ohio State. All right, we got to step aside for our first break, but if you want to be a part of the show, 402-413-2400, the Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Hey, Sam Haiby coming up next to talk about her decision to return next season with Husker women's basketball.
DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit DeTow Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DeTowSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Osceola Implement in Osceola, Nebraska, your locally owned Massey Ferguson dealer. Proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, they're even longer term than your sister's piano recital at church that time you drank a whole big cup of soda right before you left home and insisted to your mom that you didn't have to use the bathroom. We're talking that long-term.
Hi, it's Boyd Minry from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 402-463-4637 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back into Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and so excited because look who's joining us back in the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, but also coming back for another year. Sam Haiby made the announcement this week. How does it feel to have the decision out there and kind of off your shoulders now?
Yeah, definitely relieved. There's no pressure anymore, but I'm so excited. This has been the best 4 years this past time I've been here, so I can't wait to come back for another one.
All right, well, take us through the decision process. We had Derek Walker on yesterday, and he kind of told us kind of what he went through to come to the decision. What was that process like for you?
Yeah, I didn't think about it a ton throughout the whole season, but I just started coming to an end there. It's definitely on my mind, and with the coaching staff too, I need to make a decision. So just kind of speaking to my coaches, my teammates, my roommates, my family, talking to them and about what I want to pursue and my goals for basketball, ultimately decided that this is in my best interest to come back for another year.
You know, when the COVID year all happened and came about, we've seen it impact a lot of different sports. But for you personally, when you found out that could be an option, was it something that was lingering in the back of your mind from the very beginning when you found that out, or was it something you wanted to, okay, let me play this year and I'll approach it when we get there?
Yeah, I definitely played it by ear. Obviously knew that was like a possibility. If something were to happen, that I could come back for a fifth year under any circumstances. But yeah, I wasn't like set on it as soon as I heard it, but I definitely knew I had that option.
So when you walk off the court, making it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in your career here at Nebraska, how much did that fuel you too, knowing that you got that taste of it and what you could do maybe potentially moving forward with this program?
Yeah, I think that was a big moment too, just after the game and after we had left the gym, just kind of realizing like that didn't feel like my last game as a Husker. So just kind of taking that into consideration. I want another chance with my teammates. We had a special run this year, so I'm excited to get back at it again for next season.
What did you take away? What did you learn from that experience?
It definitely helps to, especially in the NCAA tournament, to have experience. We had everyone returning that hadn't played an NCAA tournament game except for Jazz maybe, I guess. But just to be ready next time, the physicality definitely increased. I don't think we were ready for that. But yeah, now that we have that 1 year of experience, we're excited and we're ready to make a run the tournament next year.
Is it kind of a little bit of a shocking feeling too when you go into a tournament like that where you had the Big Ten tournament, but you always know you're making it to the NCAA tournament. And then it's just all of a sudden over. You gotta prepare yourself for that feeling, right? Because it's like you're playing, and there's always something next for a season, and then all of a sudden it's done. And for some of those high school, the freshmen that last time they walked off the court, they were state champions. So It's got to be kind of preparing yourself for that too, right?
Yeah, definitely. As much as you want to prepare, you never know when it's going to happen. So it's definitely. We talked about it after we had lost to Gonzaga. Like, it's weird. We're done right now. Our season's over. But fortunately, I have another opportunity to come back and pursue the goals and dreams that we had that we didn't achieve this season.
When I talked to Coach Williams after that game, she said in the locker room, you guys were pretty disappointed because felt like you didn't play your best and you came there to win and to advance. Did you feel disappointed after that too, feeling like your team could have done a little bit more in that game?
Definitely. I know everyone in that locker room was definitely disappointed. We didn't play our best basketball, but we don't want to make excuses. Gonzaga played a really good game. They out-rebounded us. They're more physical than us. So I think we just have to remember that and be ready for it next time.
So we talked to you a lot throughout the season about how special this team was, but now that that season's closed and you are coming back, how do you reflect upon what you guys were able to do last year and come together in the way that you did?
We just have to carry that over. We talk about carrying over practices to continue to build and be great at the end of the year. But we built something special last season. We have a lot of players returning, so we just have to make sure we stay together and carry that over into next year.
Have you guys had conversations about that? About, hey, this is what we did this year. Now we got everybody coming back. Let's raise the bar?
Yeah, we haven't yet, but we started postseason workouts next week, so we'll definitely have some team meetings, gather everyone. We've hung out as a team a lot after the season has ended still, but yeah, we need to lock in again and try to continue to build that culture.
Literally every player I talked to throughout the season talked about how different it was that you guys hang out together outside of the gym, and you might have certain teammates that you hang out with, but together as a whole. Have you been a part of a team like that where it's the entire group spends time together and enjoys spending time together like that?
I've not, no. There's a genuine love on this team that everyone has for each other. So when people want to hang out, it's the whole team is included every single time. We just hung out a couple times this past week before we have players leaving. But yeah, it's awesome to be a part of.
Visiting with Sam Haiby, made the decision to come back for another year. I wanted to go back to last year, and again, this is something that we hit on a little bit throughout the season, but with the pieces that were coming in last year, it was kind of a different feel, different role for you to take on with other players that could score a lot. What was that process like for you to kind of go through that when you knew that, hey, Jazz Shelley was coming in, Alexis Markowski, had other pieces that could help with the scoring aspect of this game, and kind of you deciding to step back, defer some until you needed to be that person that could take over games? What was it like kind of working through that as a player?
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment for me after going off of last year when I had the ball in my hands a ton, to maybe not shooting the same shots that I've been taking. But when you have other players who can score the ball just as easily or just as well, it doesn't really matter who's doing it as long as you guys are winning those games. So I was more than happy to be the distributor of game, or if I had to score, then do that. But just kind of fitting in wherever the team needed me.
Your ability to get to that rim, and you've told me before that's something that you've always taken pride in, but how did you get to that when you were growing up as a little player to where that became such a big part of your game?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I was always smaller than everyone else, so you'd think I'd probably develop a jump shot, things like that. But I don't know, I was always a quick one too, so I just found it easier to go to the basket than to settle and shoot threes.
I know you took a beating, your body took a beating this past year. Are you getting yourself back healthy? What's that process like for you right now?
Yeah, throughout my career here, I've definitely faced some injuries, some struggles. But yeah, I'm trying to get healthy right now, take it easy this off season, but be back to 100% by the time we start again.
That's awesome. How excited are you knowing that all the pieces that you had and the potential of this program moving forward? How excited does that make you?
Very. Just after what we did this past season and knowing that we're only going to get better, we're only going to continue to grow, I'm super excited, and I'm really grateful to be back for one more year.
Coach Williams talked on her show one time about, chemistry is not something with the team you can just carries over. You have to kind of restart that every year and make sure. But when you have so many players that were such a part of that and did see how big that instrumental that was into what you guys did as a team. How do you do that? How do you duplicate? Because it's going to be a different team, but how do you carry that over?
I think we're definitely fortunate to have so many people back who are also leaders on the team too, who have that influence, have that respect throughout the team. But it is going to be a lot of work to put forth. You have to want to build that culture. You have to have everyone want to buy in. But I'm excited. We're definitely more than capable of doing it and continuing what we did last season.
When you put the graphic out and you saw the reaction from Husker Nation, what did that feel like?
It was special. I knew it was very much anticipated, but I just wanted to make sure I was making the right decision. But when I did put that out and all the stuff I got back to see that there was so much support here throughout Husker Nation and my friends and family back home in Moorhead, it was awesome to see.
Well, okay, so that's the basketball talk. I did want to talk to you. Coach Williams also brought it up on our show the other day about you're a big baseball person. We were talking before we started recording that you played baseball until you graduated high school. How much do you love baseball?
Yeah, I'm a big baseball fan. Not as much as I used to be when I was younger. Baseball used to be my favorite sport until I was probably about in middle school maybe. I was a huge baseball kid, but yeah, I love watching the Huskers play whenever I can, but I enjoy it, yeah.
What position did you play?
Pitcher and outfield.
What, did you have a specialty pitch?
I was more, my fastball was probably my best pitch, but I wasn't outpowering guys, but more of a locator.
That's awesome. What did you love about playing baseball? Like, how did you get into that, and why'd you stick to baseball?
Probably the camaraderie. I played it ever since I was growing up, so a lot of those guys are my best friends to this day. Just kind of hanging out. It's a different atmosphere than on the basketball court when you're in the dugout and things like that, but just being around those guys and hanging out, I guess.
Listen, we're going to do a special feature on this. I'm going to get some highlights and some pictures of you, because that is awesome that you played baseball for so long. Do you have a favorite Major League Baseball team? Are you Twins?
I'm a Cardinals fan.
Cardinals?
We got Pujols back, I've seen, so yeah, it's going to be a good year.
We're going to need to have you come on and talk a little Major League Baseball when we get into the season. But Sam Haiby, appreciate your time. So happy that you're coming back, and we look forward to what you're going to do here in your final season with the Huskers.
Awesome, thank you.
That is Sam Haiby with Nebraska women's basketball. We're going to step aside for another break here on Sports Nightly. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Back with more Sports Nightly coming up right after this.
Start your car buying journey today at Woodhouse Ford and experience the difference. Discover a new era in the 2022 Ford Edge. The seamless integration of power, performance, and technology allows you to feel confident on the road. Place a custom order today and design an Edge that meets the demands of your lifestyle. Plus, shop online anytime at woodhouseford.com or visit us in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to save big on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But get moving, offers are ending soon. Get to the final days of Ford Truck Month. Maverick has limited availability. See dealer for inventory stock.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Wine, the one ball pitch, Toll swings, grounds to third. Gray has it, throws to the bar at second for one, the turn to first, in time, double play, and Nebraska holds on to defeat number 19 Michigan. They open Big Ten play with a 3-2 win.
Nebraska softball looks to stay undefeated in Big Ten play when it hosts Rutgers tomorrow night at Bowlin Stadium. Hear all the action with pregame at 5:20, first pitch at 5:30 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Line, the one ball pitch, Toll swings, grounds to third. Gray has it, throws to Ibarra at second for one, the turn to first, in time, double play, and Nebraska holds on to defeat number 19 Michigan. They open Big Ten play with a 3-2 win. Nebraska softball looks to stay undefeated in Big Ten play when it hosts Rutgers tomorrow night at Bowlin Stadium. Hear all the action with pregame at 5:20, first pitch at 5:30 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app. Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Make it custom, make it yours. Right now at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair, you can get up to $2,500 off MSRP when you place a custom 2022 Ram 2500 or 3500 order during Ram Truck Month. Get $1,000 off MSRP when you custom order. Plus, with a qualifying trade-in, get an additional $1,000 off. Business owners get an additional $500 off. Shop Ram Truck Month online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere.
At Great Western Bank, they are committed to your community. With all the local decisions and personal attention of a hometown community bank, they also have the convenience of a bigger bank. It's the best of both, so you can bank with your neighbors and your friends. Great Western Bank wishes all area teams a safe and successful season. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Welcome back into Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe on the road with Husker baseball as they get set to face Ohio State on the road this weekend for a 3-game series. First game, first pitch tomorrow, set for 5:05. So Greg and Ben will be on the call for you there. Want to talk a little Husker football before we move along too far. We are 1 week away from this Saturday will be the annual spring game. So 1 o'clock start for that one, 1 o'clock kickoff, and it's looking like we might have some nice weather coming up. So excited about that. The Huskers will have their final practice of the week tomorrow morning, and then they'll have the weekend off. They'll be back to practice on Monday and Wednesday before they'll take the field for the spring game next Saturday, 1 o'clock. Tickets are still available, so if you want to come out check them out, and then go out to baseball after that, as baseball will be back home. 402-472-3111 or Huskers.com/tickets. $10 right now, the day of the game. It will move up a little bit, but you want to check out this football team. Should be fun to get the first look at all the new exciting things going on with Husker football. So got a chance to chat with Brant Banks, offensive lineman, played in 9 games last season. And to set this up a little bit, so he and Nuri Newelli, pretty tight, good buddies, and over spring break, Brant took Nuri back to Houston. They went to the rodeo, which I'll remind you, last week we talked to Nuri about it, and he told me, quote, his favorite part of the rodeo was the mud bussin', otherwise known as mutton busting, where the little kids ride the sheep and get bucked off the sheep. But so Nuri got his first taste of Texas and the rodeo and all of that, so got a chance to talk with Brant Banks about all of that. Well, how's spring ball going for you?
It's awesome. I mean, we're having a lot of fun. We're coming out, and it's football. It's finally football again, so we're excited for the spring game, too.
Before we dive into too much football, you took Nuri to Houston for his first rodeo experience. He was telling me all about it last week. What was that like, taking somebody that's never had any kind of experience like that at all?
It was honestly hilarious. I took him and Daniel Cerny, our old punter. He's from Australia. I mean, it was hilarious because I had one Australian and one kid. Nuri can barely speak English. So, I mean, he's like, can I take a picture with the sheriff? And, like, so everyone was cool, too. Like, we got, I think he has, like, 6 pictures with 6 different sheriffs because he thought it was, like, yeah, it's a Texas sheriff. So, I mean, it was an awesome experience. He had a lot of fun. He doesn't really like country music, but he enjoyed it a lot in concert, so.
How cool is that? Because I think, just in the grind of a football season, you kind of forget that you guys got people coming from all over together to play this game, and then you take a step back like that to be able to introduce people to something they've never experienced before.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, a lot of things we did you can't do in Nebraska. One thing that, I mean, I love Nebraska, but the food in Texas is incredible, so we ate out a lot. Like, we spent a lot of money on food, but it was worth every penny.
Making gains while you were on vacation?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we worked out, too, so we were able to eat pretty much whatever we wanted.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what's the spring been like for this offensive line and working with Coach Raiola? What's he like out there?
He's awesome. His intensity, like the level of intensity that he pushes us to work with and what he brings to practice is incredible.
What's the number one kind of message that he brings to the offensive line room day in and day out?
Intensity. I mean, like, we don't go out there flat anymore. That's just one thing we don't do. And if we do, it's for one play and we get it right. Like, but that's the thing, that he doesn't have to do that anymore. Like, he had to coach us in the beginning, but I mean, I think now we're more trying to be a player-led team because that's what all great teams do. So having a player-led team, we can just pick the guy up next to us.
Nuri was saying just kind of the playing next to the guy next to you, which you guys have kind of always had that mentality, but it's really kind of stepped up a notch. What does that mean to you guys as an offensive line to really play with that mentality?
It's amazing. Like, we are closer than I think we've ever been as a unit because we do stuff outside of the stadium. We all hang out all the time because, I mean, the guys next to me, I have to protect them. If I don't protect them, they're going to go to the ER. Like, it's a violent game. So we have to be tighter than just, like, teammates,
How important is that chemistry to an offensive line? I mean, it's one thing to have a chemistry as a football team, but especially on the offensive line.
I think it's huge. It's a little harder playing with someone that you've never played with before. But that being said, I mean, even if you build chemistry outside of the stadium, you can kind of figure out what they're going to do. But it definitely helps to have some snaps next to someone.
I know you guys are missing some pieces in the offensive line, but overall, how's the depth and the group coming along this spring?
We're coming along great. I think we're really improving a lot, like in every aspect of football. And I think you're going to see a whole new offensive line in the spring game.
What about for you personally, being that you got a lot of playing time, a lot of experience a year ago? How do you feel personally and your game?
I'm excited. I feel better than I've ever felt before. Like, I'm more conditioned. Honestly, last year at this time, if I came up here I'd probably be sitting on the ground. Like, I feel a lot more conditioned, and I know that's not just me. That's the whole O-line, just what we've been doing to put in the work and give that extra effort to get in shape and not quit on plays. So.
And what about just kind of learning all the nuances of the new offense, the wrinkles with Whipple, plus with what Coach Frost did before? What's that like for the offensive line?
Yeah, it's actually not as bad as you would think. I mean, Coach Whipple and Coach Raiola, they're awesome teachers because every coach has to be a good teacher because it's literally what they're doing. I think they're explaining it in a way that we really can get it, and it's been great so far. It's pretty simple for us, honestly. So it's been huge.
All right, give us a guy that's really kind of impressed this spring, either a wide receiver or running back that's really jumped out.
wide receiver or running back. Honestly, there's a lot. Like,
okay, give us 2 or 3.
Okay, I'll give you 2. I'll give you a wide receiver and a running back.
Okay.
You know, Gant, obviously, like, Yant's always been a guy, but this year, like, I think I've really seen him transition into a dude, if you know what I mean. Like,
We're hearing that a lot. I mean, from a lot of different guys.
yeah, I mean, and Yant, with Yant running behind you, and if you're going live, you know you're getting some yards because he runs the ball like a maniac, which I love. We need it. I mean, and if we're pushing the line, we're going to get yards every time and first downs. And then as far as receivers, a new guy, Trey Palmer, he's an awesome teammate and, like, you know, player and teammate outside of the field. So he's really impressed me with his skill, and everyone knew he was good, but he's really impressed me.
And then now defensive side of the ball. Anybody, give us one name that's really been impressive.
2,
if you want to do 2 again.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, all of them, like Jamari Butler, he's really improving. You know, he's a younger guy, but he'll get some snaps. I'm not a coach, so I don't honestly know, but he should. You know, he's really improving his game all around. He's expanding his toolbox. I go against Garrett Nelson almost every day, and you know, we were freshman roommates, but like I see his game improving a lot this year too. Whether it be like just like his pass rush, all around, he's being just a more versatile player.
So, and I see your hair is growing out. Yeah. Garrett's growing his hair out. Who is the best hairstyle on the team right now?
Oh God, honestly, I hate. Besides me, I can't say me. You know, I've been trying to do a mullet for a while, but I think my girlfriend might kill me. So I kind of like Travis's mullet, but I think it's just because it's a mullet. It's not because like his is a little trailer parky, but it's kind of cool, you know.
All right, last thing I got for you, a serious note. Now that you guys are kind of getting towards the end of this week, you move into spring game week next week. You like where this team is at going into that week?
Oh, I do. I really do. I think the whole team's excited and amped up for the spring game. That being said, it's for us, it's another practice, so we have to treat it like that. We can't go out and be like, oh, it's a little scrimmage we don't have to care about. Like, we need to really improve every day up until then, because we only have 3 more practices until the spring game, so we have to come out every day and improve just to take every step we can before the season.
That is Brant Banks. Appreciate Brant Banks chatting with us. How about all that? And lots of good stuff in there with him. How about Jaquez Yant? Over and over again, we've heard his name throughout this entire spring about how good he looks. Cannot wait to see that out on the field. A week from Saturday, again, spring game coming up April 9th. Looking like it should be some nice weather, so get your tickets, be there. It should be a fun day all around. And we're going to have Jeremiah in next week. Throughout the week, we got some fun things planned with him, and we're both going to be on the sideline for that one. He's claiming that he's going to be at the red team. We're going to have a coin toss something. Greg's cooking something up to figure out who gets to be with which team, but we should have some fun and should get to hear a lot of cool interviews, and as a lot of former Huskers planning on coming back, should be some celebrities on the sidelines, as there always is. All right, going to work in our final break here of hour number 1. We're back up to wrap up this first hour coming up next here on Sports Nightly.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Don't let the cold winter worry you. As Nebraska's leading supplier of propane, you can count on Sapp Brothers to keep your family warm this winter. You're like family, and your safety is the number one priority of Sapp Brothers. When it comes to your propane needs, Sapp Brothers has you covered. Visit www.sappbros.net/petroleum to find your local Sapp Brothers propane expert. Celebrating 50 years of fueling America's heartland and welcoming guests, Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
The best parts of an SUV and pickup truck come together in the all-new 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. This up-for-anything sport adventure vehicle gives you modern convenience and uncommon freedom with the open bed of a pickup truck. Plus, when you shop Hyundai, you'll benefit from Hyundai Owner Assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Find yours online at woodhousehyundai.com or in-store off 144th and Giles Road during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Welcome back into our final segment here of hour number one. If you want to be a part of the show moving forward, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. You heard Brant Banks there breaking down some hairstyles on the football team. Grace in our YouTube chat room agrees, says that Garrett definitely has the best hair. He's got it growing out. You saw Oliver Martin yesterday. If you were watching on our YouTube stream, he's got some long flow going. I think some of them working on growing out their hair a little bit. So again, another reason to come to the spring game. Maybe you can check out some of the hairstyles there here this spring. Got a big show, big hour coming up for you next hour. We're gonna hear from Morgan Shaw Parker. She's a Husker, graduated from here, and she's the president and COO of the Atlanta Dream. She's on campus this weekend being honored as an alumni master with the Nebraska Alumni Association. What an incredible resume, and we had such an awesome conversation with her. She has such incredible experience and awesome words to share. So we going to play a portion of that conversation with you coming up next. We're also going to hear from Olivia Farrell. One-hit shutout, Olivia Farrell from Tuesday night as the Huskers knocked off Creighton. They're back in action coming up this weekend here in Lincoln with their conference home opener against Rutgers, and Bark in the Park Day on Saturday. You can bring your dogs out to the ballpark. So, I mean, does it get any better than that? I know I have already told my dog he's excited. We're going to go out to Bark in the Park Saturday to watch some Nebraska softball. They are playing well. Those bats are hot as they lead the Big Ten. They're among some of the best teams in the nation and several offensive statistics. So they are playing well, and they need to keep it rolling this weekend. So we're going to talk to Olivia Farrell about that as well. So big hour coming up for you next. And if you want to be a part of the show, again, 402-413-2400 on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. All right, working in our final break, but hour number 2 coming up next here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More with Sports Nightly coming up right after this.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Rise above the sea of sameness and shop the Lincoln Corsair at Woodhouse Lincoln, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer. The Lincoln Corsair has seating for 5 and integrated technology features that deliver the functionality you need. With an expressive aesthetic and luxurious interior, the Lincoln Corsair is quiet luxury redefined. Visit us in-store off 144th and Giles Road at Woodhouse Place or online at woodhouselincoln.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
Haiby Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Haiby Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Haiby Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Haiby Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Haiby Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Haiby.com/mealtime.
Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and it's your Sports Nightly Ticker coming at you here in hour 2 of our show. It's the last day of March and also our last show of the week with Huskers baseball on the airwaves tomorrow night, as well as Huskers softball. We'll hear from Olivia Farrell later in the hour. We have a jam-packed second hour for you, so we'll get right to it. Earlier today, Huskers men's track and field athlete Ryan Martins was named the top collegiate athlete in the 10,000 meters event at the Mike Finelli Track Classic on Thursday, earlier today in San Francisco. His time was 29:44.24, making him a third-place finisher in the 55-man field. The only two that were better were both professional distance runners. Martin's time is his personal best and takes the place of 6th in Huskers history in the 10,000-meter event. His teammate Mark Freyoff also recorded a personal best 10,000 meters time of 30:09.72. That was ninth best in Huskers history, was 9th overall in the race, and 5th best among collegiate athletes at the event. Elsewhere in college sports, over to basketball, where the men's and women's NIT tournaments are in action. The men are at half, and it's all Aggies are up in that one. They were down early to playing Xavier. It is 40-32, getting ready for the second half in that one again. Texas A&M leading there. On the women's side, in the WNIT semifinals, it's all Seton Hall over Middle Tennessee at the moment. Just under 3 minutes to go in the half. It's 38-19 Seton Hall. And just about set for tip-off are UCLA and South Dakota State. Also in the Big Ten, in the men's side on basketball, 2 conference foes of the Huskers have declared for the 2022 NBA draft. That would be Wisconsin's Johnny Davis and Purdue's Jaden Ivey, both currently projected as first-round picks this June. In pro sports, one notable signing in the NFL today, Bobby Wagner, the longtime Seattle Seahawks, signed a 5-year, $50 million contract worth up to $65 million with the LA Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The 0-2 from Stracco, and Bredwell swings and lifts it to left and deep, and it's good! A 2-run home run for Ava Bredwell.
The 0-1. Ripped right at the shortstop. Matthews back to second, and it is a double play. They pick off Flores, who had gotten too far off the bag.
Andrews swings and hammers this one deep right field and gone! A rocket halfway up the bleachers in right field for a home run.
The 3-2 pitch. That's ripped into center field. That's a base hit. It's a gapper in the left center field. Chick scores. Anderson around third, being waved home. The relay throw to the plate, not in time, and the Huskers have taken a 2-1 lead.
Ibarra swings and hits this one high in the air, deep right field, and it's gone! Ibarra and Andrews go back to back.
Hit on the ground to second, might be 2. Second base 1 on to short. Matthews relay throw to first in time, and C.J. Hood, the freshman, gets a double play ball and gets the Huskers at a little bit of danger here in the top of the 6th inning.
And Gray swings and blasts it, deep right field. It's gone! It's gone! Sidney Gray with a 3-run home run.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back into hour number 2 of Sports Nightly, final show of the week as Husker baseball set to take on Ohio State on the road. That's where Greg is. If you missed it, we chatted with him earlier. Huskers going should be in practice or workout right now before they will get set to take on Ohio State. 5:05 first pitch coming up tomorrow. So no show. Final one for you coming up here tonight. We got a fun hour coming up for you here in this second hour of Sports Nightly. Olivia Farrell has been just killing it in the circle for Nebraska softball. They've got a big weekend coming up this weekend. Their conference home openers against Rutgers. So we're going to talk to her. She is fantastic. Huge personality. We talk some dogs as it's bark in the park. So you don't want to miss that conversation. But want to kick off this hour with an awesome conversation we were able to have today with Morgan Shaw Parker, who graduated here from Nebraska and actually got her start. She has had quite the resume. She's currently the president and COO of the Atlanta Dream. She is previously with the Atlanta Falcons, when she became the first woman ever in the NFL to be named a vice president in the within a team with an NFL franchise. She started off her career with the Kansas City Chiefs. She was at Nike for a long time, but she first got her start as a marketing GA here at Nebraska between 1997 and 1999. She's here this weekend, or here for these last couple of days, being honored as an alumni master, the class of 2022, the Nebraska Alumni Association. She was speaking to some classes here on campus earlier and managed to work out a little bit of time here to chat with us. Just a fantastic conversation. We're going to drop this full podcast tomorrow, but wanted to give you guys a sneak peek here on Sports Nightly. Well, what a treat we have today. Two very powerful women joining me here in studio. Morgan Shaw Parker, who is the president and COO of the Atlanta Dream, and Haiby Kuka, who is with our Huskers athletic partners, and who you guys have a long-standing relationship. You're a Husker. Haiby helped get your start in your career. What's it like being back?
Oh my gosh, it's so special because Haiby was my very first boss, and I'm trying not to date ourselves, but you know, it was 25 years ago, and I attribute a lot of what I have the opportunity to do now is because Haiby put me in some really cool positions to do some really amazing things in the athletic department. So it's actually really cool to sit next to her and do this.
That's amazing. What's it like seeing, a former pupil go on and do what she's done?
Well, I'm so proud, and I've just known right away that she is so talented, and just her the way she communicates and conducts herself, it's just nice to see a legacy like that.
Well, I mean, your resume is just so impressive. You're with Nike, the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're with the Atlanta Falcons, right, for a while, and now you're with the Dream. Tell us about the start first. You started here as a Husker. You graduated from here. We're a GA in the marketing department. How did you even get your start into sports?
Well, I got my start when I was in the business college here, and I needed a marketing internship. And a couple of friends said, well, why don't you check out the athletic department? And I had no idea that there was a whole business side of sports. It's just not something at the time that was really taught in business school. And I don't think it was taught really in any of the other colleges. But what was really cool is when you get thrust into the athletic department, and especially working for Haiby and 24 intercollegiate sports at the time, we had a lot of, fans that came to football games, a lot of fans that came to volleyball games. But, I had the opportunity to market sports like tennis and wrestling and, basketball and, you name it. And so it was really interesting, and you had to work really hard because, sometimes it's not necessarily a sport that fans think of first to come and watch and support wrestling. And so it was challenging. So that's how I got my start, is really kind of getting my hands dirty and understanding all of the different functions within a sports business environment, from marketing to broadcast to sales and sponsorship. And so it was really cool. So that kind of opened up the door.
I mean, the things that have been written about you, one of the most powerful women in sports in 2020, that was from Adweek. Sports Business Journal called you a game changer. Would you have thought, when you hired her as a GA, that she would go on? I mean, I know you said that
Haiby,
you saw
don't lie.
potential, but would you have thought it would end up here?
Oh, absolutely, yes. She was very talented, and no, we can see, and a lot of people have gone on to do well. In fact, Fraka Hockman was almost dean of the journalism college, and so we've just had a lot of great people go on and do well. In fact, one of my interns is now my boss, Jason Rathy, and Brandon Meyer, whose wife also worked with this. So, but the industry has changed. If you look back when she was working, and you can see it in the films, we literally had 8 by 4 foot signs that we'd have to carry and slide into these brackets. Now it's very digital and very high end, and so everything has changed. And I want to put a shout out to Bill Byrne, who was our athletics director at the time, and he just really saw the business side of the business, and so enabled us to do all of that. So it was great. And he embraced all the things that we did.
Yeah. Well, he also embraced putting women in powerful positions. And you think about what Haiby was able to do and being a trailblazer in that space. You just didn't see that. And for me, my first foray into sports and seeing women in these powerful roles, we had a woman overseeing SID at the time too. And, there were so many opportunities to see it. So I didn't think twice about it not being something that was normal. Once I got out into the professional world of, the NFL and some other sports and agencies, you then started to realize, that's not a normal thing. So, I feel like Bill was really ahead of the curve in that space.
You literally read my mind. I was going to ask you, as a young, impressionable woman coming out of college, to see Haiby in that position had to be huge at the time when there's been a lot of growth, but at the time it just wasn't something that you saw. I'm sure it had to be huge for someone in college at that time.
It was. I didn't realize it at the time because that was just normal. She's powerful. She called the shots. I mean, she probably wouldn't tell you that right now, but she still is. And, I think that's that infectious personality and then the trust in the fact that she gives really clear direction and she trusts you to go do your job and she doesn't micromanage you. And so it's really interesting in just taking a page out of her playbook in terms of how do I apply that moving forward. One thing that she did for me was really, I remember putting me in tough situations, and some of that was trust, some of that was because she was busy. And she's like, you know what? I hired you. You got to go do this. Now get out there and go figure it out. And honestly, for me, it helped build my confidence in areas where I might not have put myself in that situation before. And if I were to look back on why did I take the leap into different places like that, it probably started all from a lot of these situations here because it's such an impressionable time.
When you finished your degree or your time as the graduate assistant and you left here, did you know what you wanted to do? Did you have in mind kind of where you wanted your career to go?
Well, I thought I did. I thought sports was really interesting, but I didn't know where or how or when. I never in a million years thought I'd be sitting in a position being a president of a professional sports team. But at the same time, I was putting myself in situations that probably made me a little uncomfortable. I got a call from the Kansas City Chiefs when I was there interning one summer when I was working at Nebraska. I spent 3 or 4 months there, and it wasn't the best internship. My job was to deliver pocket schedules, and I hated it. But I did it. I showed up every day and I delivered those darn pocket schedules. And I probably shouldn't say it, especially on air, but I'm sure a lot of them ended up in the dumpster behind the stadium. That's okay. People still came to the games, not because of the
dumpster, right?
The recycling dumpster. Yep, they didn't come to the games because they got a pocket schedule. But it was interesting. I got a very narrow view of what sports business could be like. So coming from Nebraska and then going into this narrowly minded space on what, first of all, a woman could do. Second of all, what marketing and sponsorship was at that time. But what I didn't realize also is like, hey, you got to roll up your sleeves, and that had to be done. And so as frustrated as I was, I went down the hall and, met Anita Bailey, who sold sponsorships. And I met, Bob Gretz, who, called play-by-play. And, I met the general manager of the organization, Carl Peterson. And, I got to cut tape. I got to do stories. I got to interview players, and I worked for the PR department when they finally called me back and said, hey, do you want to come work full-time in a completely different department? So it actually helped me get a bigger perspective, but I had to take on my own initiative to do that.
It's got to be also cool on that terms to see the investment in women's sports. Haiby, I know you were able to show her around some of the facilities yesterday. I mean, just the fact that the facilities here are unmatched both for men's and women's sports. It's not, you look at what our women's sports are doing here, and they're provided all of the best as well.
Absolutely. And just even sharing with Morgan that we had BTN the most viewership for the women's game against Iowa and then Michigan. And so that those numbers are coming up on their own. And she did mark, we got to see in the locker room that the March Madness rug was on the floor there.
Yeah.
So just those milestones are fantastic. And so it's just a great thing to see as it evolves, and that it's an important thing to take care of.
Usually the locker rooms are better than NFL locker rooms
They
you've
are.
been in.
The locker rooms are insane. I think I wish that more student athletes realized what they had here, as students in general, because this is just not normal in a lot of universities. And heck, when you go to the pros, there's a lot of pro teams, men's and women's, that aren't treated the same. So it's cool.
Okay, as looking back, and I know you got to get going, you got a busy schedule, but what's probably the biggest thing that you learned being a Husker, graduating from Nebraska, that has kind of carried on to throughout your career, that where you are now?
Gosh, it's a great question. I just attribute so much of me finding myself here and finding my own confidence. And I'm just grateful for the fact that I found a home in Nebraska athletics, because I always wanted to play. I had, I'm the oldest of 4 girls, 5 actually, if you count my cousin who came to live with us for a long time. And they were all better athletes than I was. I thought I was awesome. And then they grew up and kicked my butt. So, to find a home in athletics where I really, really wanted to be, it was really amazing. And to understand that there was such an amazing opportunity to define my own career path, and that my curiosity wasn't a lack of knowledge, but it was embraced. And the fact that I wanted to roll up my sleeves and learn and do, I think that's the big thing that I take from it. And a lot of people ask, well, should I go straight for my graduate work, or should I go into the workforce? And I think when you find something you're passionate about, you'll know it, and you go full speed ahead into that, and do it for as long as you can, as long as it fills your bucket, as long as you're learning. And you know what? You build for the next opportunity as well.
It's funny, we just had Pro Day a couple weeks ago, and a number of them said that they felt prepared for this process because of what they went through as a student athlete at Nebraska. Did you feel that way too, that once you left here, you were prepared for some things because of, this is like a professional franchise in a way.
It is a professional franchise. And in fact, it's more well run than most professional franchises and businesses that I've been in. And I've worked for all facets of sports, and agency and professional. I've been to 18 different Super Bowls and worked for the NFL league office, and it's all fantastic, and they all do a great job. But how well run this is, and how student centric it is, and how, like I said, the opportunity to learn and ask questions. I think once I figured out that that's okay at a young age, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know what you're going to be when you grow up. In fact, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I ask that to everybody I interview too. But, the fact that you don't have to know everything, and that you should be comfortable in your own skin asking questions. And you know what? Heidi will tell you, she doesn't know everything. She had an amazing career, but she's still learning, and she wouldn't be here if she wasn't still learning and growing and having opportunities to do new things. So I realized that was just something that was very important to me, and I look for look for organizations that offer that as I grow in my career.
I should mention, too, one of the reasons you're here is you're an alumni master in the 2022 class at the Nebraska Alumni Association. How special is that to be honored and recognized by your alma mater?
Well, first of all, the fact that the College of Business is giving me an award, I'm like, there were a couple times in those accounting classes where I was lucky to graduate. So, number one, I'm grateful. Number two, it's such an honor. At the end of the day, I really do put Nebraska up there as the best of the best. And I had the good fortune to be accepted and have this opportunity, and just to see the campus growing, and to be back here and to be a representative of that moving forward. My little kids don't stand a chance. They're going to be told they need to go to Nebraska, because this is where it all happens.
Got to get them back for a football game in the fall.
Exactly. Yes. They're 3 and 6, and they're going to be in it to win it.
How about that? Again, that's Morgan Shaw Parker. She's just fantastic. The president and COO of the Atlanta Dream, the WNBA team there in Atlanta. That was just a portion of our conversation. We're going to be dropping that full podcast tomorrow on our Huskers Radio Network podcast platform, so make sure you check that out. She was awesome. So fun to talk to. She was in the studio for about an hour checking out our equipment in here. She's going to try to implement a new studio there in Atlanta with the team, and was taking notes. So she is awesome. Felt like she's the kind of person that you talk to and you feel like you know them for years. But so excited to get to have that conversation and share that conversation with you guys. So check that out coming up tomorrow. All right, got to work in our first break here of hour number 2. But coming up next, another treat for you. Olivia Farrell with Nebraska softball going to be here to talk about her one-hit shutout against Creighton on Tuesday, but then also the big weekend coming up this weekend against Rutgers. So keep it right here on Sports Nightly and buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself. That's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Successful farmers must make good decisions every day. In pivot irrigation, the choice is simple. T&L exclusive hydraulically powered pivot irrigation systems are like no other. You get tough, reliable, and cost-effective irrigation. Let T&L's 60 years of irrigation experience work for you. Call your local T&L dealer or T&L Irrigation Company today. T&L, like no other.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. This message is brought to you by Bayer, Science for a Better Life, and DeKalb.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to save big on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But get moving. Offers are ending soon. Get to the final days of Ford Truck Month. Maverick has limited availability. See dealer for inventory stock.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
The Huskers provide the best on the field, and so does Kubota. The new Kubota L60 Limited Edition Series provides the best package for affordability, quality, and comfort, like the deluxe Grand L factory-installed cab or spacious open operator station. Maximize performance with Kubota's best-in-class HST Plus transmission and many other features of the L60 LE Series. Experience the Kubota difference. Visit nebraska-kubotadealers.com or see Rush Kubota in West Point or Roars Machinery in Beatrice.
There's nothing better than the smoky aroma of grilled beef at the ballpark. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council reminding you to pick up a package of steaks or burgers for your next tailgate party. Whether you're setting up in the parking lot or cheering from home, nutritious beef is a home run choice when cheering on the Huskers. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for delicious beef recipes, grilling tips, and tailgate inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. I'm Jessica Coody, and so excited to have our next guest here in studio, Olivia Farrell with Nebraska softball. Man, what a tear Huskers softball has been on. Olivia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Big weekend coming up with a 3-game series with Rutgers, the home conference opener. But before we talk about all of that, let's go back to Tuesday night. What a night for you in the circle. A one-hit shutout as you guys beat Creighton 15-0. How did that feel out there?
Yeah, I know. That felt pretty good, especially I was here the last time we played Creighton. So that was very nice revenge. That is for sure.
What is that feeling like as a pitcher when you are dealing in that way?
Yeah, you just feel pretty comfortable out there. I know when I got out there the first inning, I wanted to set a tone. So 3 strikeouts, and then my team came through and they hit the ball. So once they put up 6 runs, I was like, okay, I can just go out there and do whatever I want to do. And I was trying to put up zeros.
Hit the ball. That's what their team has done all season long. I mean, you look at the stats, this team leading the Big Ten in home runs, RBIs, hits, slugging percentage, almost every hitting statistic. Nebraska is leading. What does that do for a pitcher to have that kind of production at the plate?
Yeah, no, it definitely just gives us some comfortability, knowing that, like, even if we do happen to give up a run, like, our team's going to get it back. I mean, even looking back at Michigan, that second game, they put up 4 in the first inning, but we came back right into our huddle and we said, we're fine. It's first inning. We have a lot of game left. We have our offense. We're going to be good. And we put up 7 runs. So you just know they have our back and we have theirs. So.
What's working for this hitting lineup that from your perspective?
Yeah, I know people are putting in a ton of work and that is obviously showing up, and then we're just buying into the plan. You know, Coach Miller is giving us a plan for every pitcher and we're just trusting it. You know, we're not second guessing, she's supposed to be throwing a drop ball, but it came in hard at our hands. That's okay, because the next is probably going to be a drop ball. So we're just trusting the plan and we're attacking it.
Billie Andrews, we had her in studio a few weeks ago. Just such a humble, nice, and it's hard to believe she's just a sophomore, but again, one of the nation's leading, not just Big Ten, but one of the nation's leading hitters. How special is she?
No, yeah, she's great. I've known Billie since high school. We played against each other and her sister, and she's just a competitor. She's great. Like you said, she's still so humble, and like you just get off the field and she's goofy and we talk and stuff, and then you get out there and she's going to compete because she just wants to do so well for the team. She just could care less that she has 17 home runs for herself. It's that I've been able to produce for Nebraska and for us. She's just out there having fun, and we're having fun with her, so it's been really great.
You talked a little bit about the wins at Michigan. The third game got canceled. Weather up there was crazy, so you played 2 on Friday. You guys win both of them. What went into winning those 2 games?
It was really in our preparation. Like, we knew their pitchers. We'd faced them last year. They had dominated us last year in pitching. Hitting, me and Court felt pretty comfortable going and pitching against them, but hitting was going to be, we'll see what happens. And we just said, we're going to buy in. We know what they're going to throw at us. We're going to buy into what they're going to throw. And we just attacked their pitching, and it paid off.
That's the 19th ranked team in the country at their place. I mean, how confident is this Nebraska team right now that you guys went there and felt like, hey, we can take these wins up there at their place?
Yeah, no, I think we just went in there and we're just like, Nebraska's never won there. And we were like, that was almost like a challenge for us. Like, I think we go into every game as a challenge. Like, they might have this, they might do this, but we can come right back at. And that was kind of our thing. We're like, we're going to do this. And we did. And like, we try not to let ourselves get too high, this is just normal for us. They might be the number 19 team and they're great competitors, but we can beat them at home. We can beat anyone here. Like, we're just going to that every single game.
Visiting with Nebraska softball pitcher Olivia Farrell. Hey, you mentioned also Courtney Wallace, and you two have both been around for a long time, have played a lot of ball for Nebraska softball, both captains. What is that like, that 1-2 punch that you guys can throw out at people, and how do you guys, I guess, feed off of each other and balance each other out?
Yeah, so like, first and foremost, like, she's my best friend, and so it's great to be able to have each other working through things. And when things aren't going well, like, we still have each other and can work with it. And also, like, on the field for matchups, she throws a heavy drop, I throw a rise ball, and so like, opponents that's a big adjustment. And so when we can work with each other, whether it's I'm going to close her game against Michigan, she closed my game, like, people just can't adjust that fast. So it's really comforting knowing, like, I have her back, she has mine, and like, we're each other's biggest fans. Like, after every game, if she closes my game, I go and give her the biggest hug or chest bump. Like, after great, and you see a video and we just chest bump each other right as I come off the field. So it's just super fun to have each other. And then Carly is the third captain, and like, she's there with us every single pitch. She gives us our pitch calls every single pitch, and so she's with us and she keeps all 3 of us connected. So it's been great.
What has that been like serving as a team captain this year? Because sometimes for pitchers, they can be in baseball too. It's like, I want to do my thing and take care of my business, and I got to be focused on what I'm doing. So how has that been balancing for you?
Yeah, no, like I said, I think it helps that there's 3 of us. Definitely, like, when I'm pitching or when Courtney's pitching or Carly is, like, we're focused on pitching, but then the other 2 have our backs when it comes to that. And then especially like off the field, like, we all serve different purposes as captains. That's why there's all 3 of us. And so it hasn't been too bad, honestly. Like, we're really relishing in our role that we have. And we knew coming to the season, like, we wanted this year to be so special. So like, this summer we just worked really hard on our team culture, and like, we just dug in, and, like, we need to do this. Like, even though we might have to have a lot of responsibility on us being pitchers and captains, like, we really didn't care. We were just like, we need to do this for our team, and like, it's going to pay off. And so far it is.
That's awesome. You think about, your career, and there's been a lot of uncertainty with things that have happened, unfortunately, throughout your career, but knowing that this is it and it's kind of back to normal a little bit, how have you been approaching this season?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just don't take it for granted every day. Like, there's so many days of practice where I'll just look around and be like, guys, this is so great to be here right now. Like, I'm just so thrilled that I got the opportunity to come back and just have a normal year for my senior year, essentially, even though I'm graduated. Like, I'm just so grateful to be here, and it just means so much. And like, I take that into every game and every practice, like, making every pitch, every play, every hit count, because this is my last year. And like, I'm finally in a place though where it's like, I'm okay with it being there. Like, I've relished it enough, and like, I've not taken anything for granted. So I know, like, I'm going to be okay when this is over. Like, it's going to be bittersweet, but like, I know I've given everything I've had, and it's going to be great.
And a Nebraska kid, what has it meant to you to wear this uniform?
I know, it's insane. Like, even growing up, I didn't really think about it too much. And then like, I got recruited by Nebraska, and ever since I first stepped on campus, like, this was home. And like, I'm 45 minutes from my house. And so like, this couldn't mean more to get to play for the Scarlet and Cream and just like give them everything, because I can say I'm from Nebraska and I played for Nebraska.
You got several of those Nebraska kids
do.
on this team.
I know. It's great. It's so fun. Like, people ask, oh, where are you from? They're expecting something, and almost every other person's like, I'm from Nebraska. I'm from Gretna. I'm from Elkhorn. I'm from Omaha. And it's great. I mean, obviously, we love our out-of-state players as well, but it's fun, especially because I've played either against, or like me and Courtney have been playing together since we were 11. Me and Peyton Glad have been playing together since we were 9.
Wow.
And we're still on the same team. So it's great.
Did you have anybody that you were rivals with that you're now a teammate with?
I mean, Billy and Brooke played for Gretna, and I played for Elkhorn South. And my junior year, they beat us at state. And my senior year, we beat them at state. And so there were kind of a little bit of a rival just because of our high schools. But no one in summer ball, because we kind of played on the same organization or team. Like, Billy and Brooke played for Nebraska Gold. They were younger than us, so they played on the younger team. So it was just high school.
Small world, right? That's
I know,
awesome.
It's crazy.
Big weekend coming up with Rutgers coming into town, coming off the wins at Michigan and then the big win at Creighton. How do you guys approach going into this 3-game series with Rutgers?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is not taking any opponent for granted. We played Rutgers well last year. They've gotten better, and not just thinking, they're Rutgers or something like that. We just need to take every game like it means the world. Like, every game's the last game. This is the game that's going to get us to postseason, because it very well could be. One loss here and there means a lot. And so we try not to get too high, and we just want to stay humble and just attack every opponent and just play Nebraska softball.
How important is it to protect the home field, too?
Yeah. No, especially like playing home, and these fans have been great. The turnout on Tuesday was insane. Expecting the same thing this weekend. So being able to play for the fans for Nebraska at home means a lot.
Hey, speaking of this weekend, big weekend, there's lots of promotions going on, but the big one I'm so excited about, Bark in the Park on Saturday. I'm going to be bringing my dog, Sammy. You have a dog, too.
I do. Lacey is going to be there.
Lacey's coming. Okay.
Lacey is coming, so you better bring all of your dogs. It's going to be huge. It's going to be great on Saturday. Sunny and like 63. Bring the pups.
Hey, come out, support Nebraska softball, and bring your dog for a day out. So on that note, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Okay. I've done a little bit of trivia throughout my time here since I've started. So I've got some dog trivia.
Okay, I can do this.
For you, okay? So we're going to... And amping up Bark in the Park on Saturday. The NCAA mascot, what is the most popular NCAA mascot?
Oh, is it a dog? It's a dog.
It's a dog. It's a type of dog.
A bulldog?
Bulldog! Yes, you got it. Do you know there's another one that's in the top 15? What kind of dog? One of the
like a Wolverine?
One of the teams, the women's basketball team, is in the Final Four.
Okay. Is it
UConn?
Yeah, that's sort of the one I'm thinking of. The Husky. Okay,
yeah, Husky. So
I went on to like Washington, because that's a good softball team. Washington Husky and State.
I should have gone there. I should have thought softball. How many teeth does an adult dog have?
Oh, I don't like 43.
42.
Okay, that was really close.
Look at you. What is the most popular dog name right now?
Bella.
How you are like all on point with your dog knowledge.
Okay, that was pretty good. I can't lie.
That's amazing. You're like 3 for 3 right now.
She didn't even tell me these before, guys.
Do you know Scooby-Doo's nephew's name?
I can see him in my head because I love the movie, but I can't. What's it start with?
An S.
Johnny Scooby. There's no way I'm going to get this. There's just no way. Is it like SC something?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Nope, it's not going to come. There's no
Scrappy
way.
Doo.
Scrappy. Oh,
Scrappy
come
Doo.
on. I can literally see him. That's the funniest thing.
Hey, your dog trivia, I'm impressed.
Not too bad.
That's really good.
I take my dogs very seriously.
That is fun times. Okay, so bring your dogs out. Come out. Watch Olivia and the Huskers this weekend.
Support
take on
us
Rutgers.
This weekend. Go Big Red.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, going to take another quick break here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Wine, the one ball pitch, Toll swings, grounds to third. Gray has it, throws to the bar at second for one, the turn to first, in time, double play, and Nebraska holds on to defeat number 19 Michigan. They open Big Ten play with a 3-2 win.
Nebraska softball looks to stay undefeated in Big Ten play when it hosts Rutgers tomorrow night at Bowlin Stadium. Hear all the action with pregame at 5:20, first pitch at 5:30 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
In a world where fun and cash prizes collide, one game explodes to the forefront. Cash Blast from the Nebraska Lottery. Non-stop excitement, a winning thrill ride, and starring you. Until April 12th. Play 2x2 weekly for a chance to win $5,000 or $500. And if your ticket was a 7-day draw, your prize is doubled. Don't miss it. Cash Blast playing at a lottery retailer near you. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
Wine, the one ball pitch, Toll swings, grounds to third. Gray has it, throws to the bar at second for one, the turn to first, in time, double play, and Nebraska holds on to defeat number 19 Michigan. They open Big Ten play with a 3-2 win.
Nebraska softball looks to stay undefeated in Big Ten play when it hosts Rutgers tomorrow night at Bowlin Stadium. Hear all the action with pregame at 5:20, first pitch at 5:30 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development, From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Welcome back into Sports Nightly. Got a couple more segments left for you. If you want to be a part of the show, 402-413-2400. The Sports Nightly hotline brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. All right, so Final Four coming up on Saturday. Can't wait. We've got Villanova and Kansas at 5:09 on TBS, followed by, how about this matchup? North Carolina and Duke, which we've talked a lot about here on Sports Nightly. And I have polled the Sports Nightly crew. Don't even need to ask Andrew. He's got Duke. I've got North Carolina. Tim, you got?
I'll go with...
Tim, I'll let you think about it. Greg has... Kansas. He had Gonzaga picked. I think we all did, but now he's got Kansas. So, going to be exciting weekend for basketball, watching the Final Four. And this article came out today. It is fascinating on SI.com by Kevin Sweeney. And we've talked a lot about the transfer portal and the impact that it's had on college athletics across all sports, and just the roster changes and how it's impacted some of these super seniors coming back and that kind of experience. So Kevin Sweeney broke down some of the numbers of those super seniors and how it has impacted the college basketball on the men's side specifically. So 430 seniors decided to come back for that extra year of eligibility this past season. Of that, 30 stayed at the same school. 400 of those players elected to transfer for their final season elsewhere. 9 super seniors will be playing in New Orleans in the Final Four this weekend. Kansas, one of those teams, 4 super seniors. So last year, dating back, college basketball, as we know, has kind of been getting older, some of those teams that have done well. And last year, Baylor, as the national champions, the oldest champions in the last decade, they had an average age of over 22. Kansas and Villanova, if you average in the eligibility, the top 10 rotation of their team, they have a average age of their being in their 4th year of college. So if it's estimated that if Kansas or Villanova win the Final Four, they would be the oldest champions based on college experience in at least 10 years and at least 10 NCAA tournaments. And again, all of that on Sports Illustrated, SI.com, Kevin Sweeney. It's fascinating. Just again, the impact that super seniors, the extra year of eligibility has made on college athletics, but specifically for this Final Four. So we know Andrew has Duke. Tim, did you think about it? Villanova. But Villanova's out. No, Villanova's in. You got Villanova. All right. I was thinking Greg got Kansas. So Villanova, North Carolina, Kansas, Duke, we're all over the place here. Somebody is going to be a winner, and we're going to brag about it next week. All right, got to work in our final break, but we're back to wrap things up next here on Sports Nightly.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to save big on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But get moving, offers are ending soon. Get to the final days of Ford Truck Month. Maverick has limited availability. See dealer for inventory stock.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good, now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah!
Ooh!
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Mike Sheffert, Craig Kerr, or Eli Sinney in Lincoln for a free insurance review.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final segment of our final show of the week, as Husker baseball will take over the Huskers Radio Network coming up tomorrow night. We also have Husker softball across our network. So Diamond Sports, we got you covered all weekend, but our final show here on Sports Nightly, and Roger texted in a great interview with the COO and Nebraska graduate. That is Morgan Shaw Parker. Once a Husker, always a Husker. Appreciate that, Roger. And yeah, if you missed any of that interview with Morgan, you can check that out tomorrow. We'll be dropping that on our Huskers Radio Network podcast platform. She is awesome. So did not want to get by this entire show without mentioning and giving a shout out to the two Husker women's gymnastics that are competing in the NCAA regional this weekend. Kinsey Davis qualified on vault, bars, and beam, and she competed in session number 1 earlier today and had a career high 9.9 on vault and a 9.925 on bars. So big numbers there from Kinsey Davis, and she's competing as an individual there in Seattle in that regional, and will hopefully qualify, put up some numbers good enough to qualify for the nationals and the national championship coming up here, and I think in a couple weeks. So we will keep following those scores. We'll have updates for you on that one. Clara Colombo will compete 9 o'clock tonight in session number 2. She qualified as an individual on the bar. So big things going on there. Still got a lot of crossover seasons happening as gymnastics wraps up their season, or in the postseason of theirs, and we got baseball and softball and conference season. So again, final show here for us tonight. We got 5:05 first pitch for Nebraska baseball. Greg Sharpe, Ben McLaughlin will be on the call for you on that one. And if you missed any of the interviews with Sam or Olivia Farrell, we have those up right now, posted on our podcast page. Olivia Farrell, you heard her talking about Bark in the Park on Saturday for Nebraska softball. They've got Rutgers for a 3-game series. Nebraska softball is killing it right now. They are coming off a big weekend at Michigan, number 19 Michigan. Right now, Nebraska softball 36 in the RPI. Michigan up there, and so hopefully they can win some more games here at home and keep moving up there. But big series coming up with Rutgers. Want to protect the home field, and they want all the support you can get. So get out there, support Husker softball. Those bats are hot. Hopefully they can stay hot, and the pitching has been phenomenal too. So hopefully they can keep it rolling this weekend. And you heard Greg mention earlier in the show a little bit of pitching changing coming up. Shea Shanneman will get the nod here to be the Friday night starter tomorrow night, and you heard him saying hopefully they can get the bats going this weekend too. So Greg Sharpe, Ben McLaughlin will be on the call for you here on the Huskers Radio Network, 5:05 tomorrow night, and then they will have about a noon first pitch on Saturday and Sunday for Husker baseball. All right, that is going to do it here for our final hour here of Sports Nightly. Boy, that flew by. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me over these couple hours. That was fun. Flying solo here and had a lot of great guests, a lot of great interviews. So, thanks for listening, and we will be back for you here on a Monday night. And have fun this weekend listening to all the Diamond Sports if you're going to get out and watch any of them, and listen here on the Huskers Radio Network. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Thanks to Tim back there for running the show for us, and have a great weekend, everybody. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
We make car buying easy at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, Iowa, where we have a full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. See what Chevy has to offer and explore the 2022 Equinox. This small SUV is thoughtfully designed to put you at the center of attention. Plus, versatility and comfort meet to make a bold first impression. Show your style through every mile and craft your Chevy your way. Find new roads in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseGM.com.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to the seventh inning stretch, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. Call or visit soshvac.com today.
SOS to the rescue! SOS!